Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. As many of you have just heard, our policy hearing that just took place, we are here to address the impact of President Biden's indefinite pause on LNG export permitting. As the second largest natural gas producing state in the country, one of our top challenges is to find more ways that we can best actually utilize the energy that is beneath our feet. Pennsylvania is uniquely situated to provide natural gas both at home and to our allies abroad. But unfortunately, right now, there is a blockade up. What we lack is the infrastructure to put our resources to use, and an LNG export terminal in Pennsylvania is an important step in securing our energy future. Our ability to export LNG supports jobs, drives economic growth, revitalizes communities, and plays a crucial role in reducing global carbon emissions. This is not a partisan issue. Our former Democrat Governor, Tom Wolf, even understood the importance of putting together an LNG export task force that I chaired to ensure PA can access reliable energy resources and supply people with energy at prices that are affordable for working families. Both of our Democrat U.S. Senators, John Fetterman and Bob Casey, are concerned about the long-term impact of this decision. Our governor has expressed that he wants the pause to be limited in time, but we don't have any time to waste. Without the ability to obtain the required federal permits, energy companies cannot invest in Pennsylvania. That money is going to other states, our competition, for other projects because the Biden administration is keeping PA Energy closed for business. We should be unified in our opposition to this decision. We are happy to work with Governor Shapiro, and we are open to finding bipartisan solutions to this problem. Let's work together on real policy solutions with our state and federal partners, because one thing is for sure, that we must act now. We must boost our infrastructure at home to get clean, reliable energy sources like LNG to market and make sure that our energy grid is reliable. We've heard from PJM that manages the energy infrastructure here in Pennsylvania and other states that there is a major energy crisis looming here in our state, coming in a very near future with the potential for rolling blackouts because we do not have enough energy supply based on the current projected energy demands. If our governor digs in, though, and chooses radical partisan politics and reinforces the Biden administration's policies that have killed off energy and manufacturing jobs in Pennsylvania, then we will keep losing to Ohio and West Virginia. Our allies in Europe will lose, and Pennsylvania families will lose. So let's work together. Let's actually win for Pennsylvania families. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Rob Baer, who is the Pennsylvania Building Trades President.
Thank you for having me here today. You heard Representative White say this is a bipartisan issue. She's absolutely correct. What I can tell you is, in the last 5 years, I haven't put any of my people to work in the energy industry, and that's unacceptable. I will tell you that if we want to meet our climate change goals, natural gas has to be a big portion of this. Liquefied natural gas is going to be key to economic development in Pennsylvania. Now, I know these are very, very, very hot-button issues, but you've heard the governor say he wants to make Pennsylvania number one. I've had this discussion with him. We need liquefied natural gas. I want to have my Philadelphia shipyard workers, my Boilermakers, building the first Jones Act LNG transport facility so that I can deliver Pennsylvania gas to New England and everywhere else that needs it. I want to create thousands of jobs. I want to build that terminal. I want to build it with Pennsylvania workers. All right? We talk about all the issues we've had with pipelines and everything in the past. Well, what we never talked about was why it wasn't Pennsylvania workers doing those jobs. All right? That has to change. If we want to meet any of our goals by 2050, and we're going to ignore the fact that we have clean burning natural gas, then we're not going to get there. What I can tell you is for 5 years, we've been here arguing about what we're going to do, and what we've done is nothing. We haven't created jobs, we haven't moved the needle on climate, and we haven't even had a serious sit-down discussion on that word that's called compromise. And that has to start today. We need to use our LNG. We need to put people to work. It doesn't do us any good to have shovel-ready sites when we don't have people coming. They both go hand in hand. We need this now. There's no doubt that we could be exporting to Europe and cutting off Russia. There's no doubt we could provide liquefied natural gas to our friends in the Northeast that don't want to burn home heating oil. There's no doubt that by expanding LNG production, we're going to increase our impact fees on our local communities for our roads, our bridges, our hospitals, our infrastructure there. That's all right here in front of us. And you heard the representative say, this is a bipartisan issue. This is absolutely a bipartisan issue. This is where both sides come together, sit down at the table and say, we're going to figure a plan out for Pennsylvania, and we're going to put Pennsylvanians first. We're going to put Pennsylvania companies and Pennsylvania workers first. I am a competitive guy. You hear the governor say he's a competitive guy, so am I. I am tired of losing my jobs to Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and the Gulf Coast states because we're not utilizing our natural gas. I want to put my members, the 130,000 people that I represent, I want them building LNG. I want them building the ships. I want to work with my partners from EQT, Marcellus Shale, Republicans and Democrats to come up with an LNG policy for Pennsylvania. And yes, you heard the representative say, we need to have a unified front in Washington telling the President of the United States and Congress that an embargo on new LNG is crazy. It doesn't do Pennsylvania justice. This is about jobs. This is about putting people to work. This is about putting Pennsylvania first. We can get there. We can get there. We just got to have the wherewithal to start the conversation. And I look forward to working with Chairman Kale and Secretary White on this committee and working with the other side of the aisle to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. My name is Carl Morera. I'm the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association. Global LNG demand is high and it's rising. As economies and countries move away from coal, crude oil, and other fuel sources, global demand for liquefied natural gas is steadily rising. This has been beneficial to the environment, as the Energy and Information Administration cites that the global transition from coal to LNG has saved more than 500 million tons of CO2 emissions from 2010 to 2022. But the Biden blockade has effectively put a halt on all new LNG terminal construction by instituting an indefinite ban on applications approving new LNG export facilities. Moreover, here in Pennsylvania, we face our own set of challenges when it comes to siting and permitting these kinds of projects, making investment in these economy-changing products uncertain. Based on our industry standard economic modeling, in a 5-year snapshot, assuming 4 years of construction and 1 year of operations, the combined totals show that the construction of an LNG terminal in Pennsylvania would support a total of 31,248 jobs, $2.7 billion in labor income earned, $4.3 billion in gross state product, $7.1 billion in total economic output, and $714 million in tax revenue over those 5 years. Thousands of new family-sustaining jobs would be realized year over year as the plant remains operational. Ultimately, we have more than enough natural gas to economically and environmentally meet the needs of our Commonwealth citizens while stabilizing the industry by opening new export channels. Using Pennsylvania natural gas to fuel our allies is good for Pennsylvania, good for the United States, and ultimately is good for the geopolitical stability of the world. We do it safer, cleaner, and with more economic and environmental benefit here than anywhere else in the world. The model that's provided in our study is a snapshot of what could be, but it's dependent on policymakers to ensure a business and regulatory environment that actually makes it a reality. The full study is available on our website at www.pamanufacturers.org. Thank you very much for your time and willingness to learn about this important topic.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Martina, and thank you, Mr. Baer. Thank you to the testifiers that we had today at the policy hearing. And really what we confirmed is that the world is a better place with Pennsylvania energy. The world is a better place with Pennsylvania energy. And the more Pennsylvania energy that we use, the better it is for our jobs, the better it is for our consumers, the better it is for our environment, and the better it is for our allies. We can talk about fighting back against tyrants across the globe, but we could actually do it here in Pennsylvania by exporting our liquefied natural gas across Europe so that they're not dependent on tyrants in Russia. We could talk about jobs and energy jobs and winning against Ohio, but if we don't do tangible policy decisions, we're never going to get there. Today we heard a lot about permitting and the need for permitting reform. We heard a lot about leveraging, celebrating, and getting the most out of our own energy assets. The future of energy across the globe is in Pennsylvania. It is right here. If we want to be concerned about our consumers, our affordable, reliable energy sources, we have it. If we want to be concerned about our environment, Pennsylvania has the answers. We'll be taking any questions that anyone might have. Questions? Anything? All right. Thank you. Good job. Good job.